Hello, this is Trandy Phillips at Louisiana Pathways, and it's November 2021. So the career development team wanted to bring you some helpful guidance about our career development system, and we know that y'all are getting ready for receiving your school readiness tax credit form. So let's just go over some stuff about career development, okay? So as a whole, Louisiana Pathways has a goal to improve the quality of childcare because we want to give childcare employees the recognition that they deserve through, these leveling certificates and that recognition. But the main goal is just we want to stabilize the childcare field. So membership is voluntary. There's no fees for enrolling. This is a voluntary program. It's not a requirement, okay? And in order to be eligible for the school readiness tax credit, you have to be enrolled. You have to be at a type 3 center. That's not on there. I should try to write it. Oh my goodness, look at this. No way. I don't like that at all. Hold on. What is this? One moment. Yay. Let's see. Notes. Wonder. Type. Nope. That's not working either. Well, either way. Type 3 center for receiving the school readiness tax credit form. Okay, so or to receive scholarships through us. So again, our aim is to promote a quality workforce by setting this career ladder and saying, okay, to get to teacher 1, you'll need a CDA or approved childhood diploma, but if you want to be master teacher, then you'll need a master's degree, and then, levels throughout. So the aim is to increase the quality of programs for our little ones, because we're trying to raise the level of education that's required for childcare staff. And of course, I shouldn't say required, but we're using this incentive, so required to receive an incentive, okay? And then of course, we want to reduce the turnover in early childhood. At Pathways, we truly believe that the consistency of you being in that center for that child, seeing your face, knowing your voice, staying in that one place, that is very important. So what are we not? We are not a training agency. We do not provide workshops. You'll see our logo here. Where's this little, oh, I like this one. You'll see our logo on certificates, but that's because we approve the trainers. They have to submit a lot of documentation and proof, and they're eligible to be a Pathways approved trainer, but we're not the training agency. Your R&R is, and colleges are. We're not. We don't do workshops. We don't do the NAC training. Okay. So on our website, www.nsula.edu/pathways. This is usually on the left-hand side of the screen, but you'll see at the top is the career development links to click. You can get your administrator track there. Career development tracks and tools is where you get forms, career ladders. Scholarship info is going to be in this box. Trainer approval resources and links are here. And then more information about being tax credit eligible here. Links and resources, school readiness tax credits. There's some contact us. Okay. So the career development department of Pathways, we maintain file folders and a database that includes demographics. So who you are, what's your phone number, what's your address, what's your education level, employment information, that comes from an employment verification form. We do not have a way of tracking you, nor I don't think should we, but you send that to us. Okay, so whenever you move centers and you're still at a type 3 center, send us the employment verification form. We'll keep your record up to date. Education, anything to do with workshop certificates, transcripts, diplomas, degrees, credentials like a CDA or a NAC, we keep up with that, put it in your folder. And then of course we place you on the career ladder, and we also keep up with your documents that you send to us about your membership to a professional organization and service to the profession. So we keep all that organized for you. Now, to enroll in Pathways, you need an enrollment form, employment verification form. You can scan and email these. We do prefer mail so that it all comes in our data entry clerk or dispersed, from that one place. But I'll give you my email at the end of this, and you're welcome to email me anything. Employment verification form should be signed by an authorized representative of your center. It can be the secretary. Whoever has access to employment records is an authorized representative of the center. So they're the ones who signs the employment verification form to validate everything on that form. And then send in copies of your training records like workshop certificates, transcripts, and credentials. That's part of enrollment, So the enrollment forms that I just mentioned, you have that in your handout with this conference, okay? And you can also get many copies of those on our website. Here's the link, pathways/career development. Okay, that's what they look like. The enrollment form does have 2 pages. Page 102, we had to put that in there because sometimes we would just get that one page. But here's the second page. Here's the employment verification form. See here, this is where the authorized representative, and we put director or center representative, obviously the director more so signs that, but it could be the owner or human resource person. So after you're enrolled, then all the correspondence that we make with you, the certificates that we send out, or the request that we need additional information, we will mail that to your home address. We do not send it to the center. So making sure that your home address is current is very important. So while directors may submit necessary information, it's ultimately the member's responsibility to make sure that their information is submitted for leveling. And I know the reason we say that is we know that there's a lot of fantastic directors, and they do a lot to keep their teachers in their center, which, being a part of Pathways, I think is a very smart move on a director's or owner of the center, whoever that's good. You want your teachers to be a part of Pathways. I get that, and so they may get you going. Here, let's enroll you in Pathways, especially if you're a new employee and they want you enrolled, and they'll help you with your CDA most of the time, and they'll help you with your ancillary, and they want you to participate in Pathways. They want you to have the recognition and earn the school readiness tax credit form. They want you there in your center, But we just want to encourage you that directors have a lot that they wear, many hats. And so please make sure that your information is submitted for leveling and up to date. Don't lean on them too much because they may accidentally forget, and that happens. And then, that kind of strains the relationship as a whole, and then you're out the school readiness tax credit form, and So the career ladder, speaking of the career ladders, you'll see that you have 2 career ladders. One at the top says teacher track. You see it just has the levels on the left, starting with staff, assistant teacher, and then it goes teacher 1, 2, 3, 4, down to master teacher. But then the administrator track, you see it starts with the first level of director with no number, and then director 1, Director 2, Director 3, and Director 4. These are 2 different career tracks. There's a family child care career ladder, and I'll be honest, I don't even have it right in front of me. I apologize. If you are a family child care provider, you can participate in our career development career development system, and I don't have it right in front of me. I do apologize. So we do have a family child care career ladder. I'll put that in the handout as well. So we put you on one of these career ladders based on the information that is submitted. So going back to like the enrollment situation, you've enrolled, you have an employment verification form, that's part of enrollment, right? If you're a assistant teacher, a teacher, a bus driver, a cook, a Head Start support staff, you're going to be on the classroom track. So we'll put you on the teacher track, okay? It says teacher track on the career ladder, and then I wrote classroom track, but we call it both. My bad. Teacher track. But if you are listed with licensing, that is first and foremost. And we get the list from licensing, obviously. So if you're listed with licensing as a director or an assistant director, okay, we're going to put you on the administrator track. And the reason we do that is because as that role as a director or even an assistant director, it's very important that you have administrative training. We want you to be trained in keeping the center open. Financial management is utmost important. Program management, communication skills, disaster preparedness, labor laws, leadership, okay, food service, especially if you're a Type 3 center and you're getting assistance from the state for your food program, it is essential that we, and it's only 15 clock hours of food service. I'm just using that as an example. That's very important for the administrators and the directors to have that training. Marketing, professionalism, all of that, that's important. So that's why there's 2 different career ladders. Okay. So for leveling, to be placed at a certain level, a member must meet or exceed the requirements in all columns. That is not appropriately written. I don't like that at all. Let me explain. I apologize. So now that I've said it out loud, I want to explain. Let's just look at the career ladders. And what I meant to say is that you're placed at the highest level where the requirements are met. So let's just look at the teacher track together. So we're looking at the teacher track. Look at teacher 4, okay? So you have 3 different bullets. You don't have to meet all of those. And so I guess that's why I didn't like what I just read, the requirements in all columns. Anyway, you have to meet one of the bullets in the column for that row. So on row teacher 4, early learning teacher 4, that row has 3 bullets. The first bullet is bachelor's degree in early childhood or child development, of which 3 college courses focus on infants and toddlers. So notice if you send a bachelor's degree in early childhood, it's just the degree, like, the diploma where it has your name and the name of and it's just that one paper. Isn't that called the degree? Here's my degree. Okay, yes. Send the degree, but we do not have transcripts. I cannot put you at teacher 4 unless I have transcripts that I see 3 college courses that focus on infants and toddlers, and that's a whole nother thing because let's say a class called child psychology or a class in, oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank and I look at these things all the time, but an early childhood, intro to early childhood education course, right? If the title on that transcript says intro to early childhood education, that's just counted as an early childhood education course. It's not counted as these one of 3 college courses that focus on infants and toddlers. I do have a list. We do have a list of the Louisiana schools that provide infant and toddler classes. So, for example, Delgado, we're all familiar with Delgado in New Orleans. They have a CDYC, well, actually two. They have two CDYC classes that focus on infant and toddler. Okay, so if you go to Delgado, well, might as well talk about this. Let's say that you're at Delgado and you're doing a CDYC, care and development of young children, major. And we require 3 college courses that focus on infant and toddlers that, can get you to Teacher 4. But Delgado only has 2 courses that focus on infant and toddler that we're aware of right now. Then you still have to get 1 more and send that in order to secure that Teacher 4 level, you see. Or look at the other bullet, right beneath it, it says a related bachelor's degree with 6 early childhood or child development college courses, of which 3 must focus on infants and toddlers. So a related degree, what we call related, is special education, elementary education, a birth to 5 early interventionist, which I, for one, think that should be totally early childhood, but the law says that that's a related degree and you need a total of 6 early childhood courses in that one. Or even a family and consumer science, that's a major that's considered related. We can make sociology, psychology, general education related if there's a total in the transcripts with 6 early childhood courses. Okay, so the whole thing is that with this leveling, right, you have to meet one of the bullets on that row in order to secure that level. Okay, but I guess what I meant to say initially, let's go back to the screen. A member must meet or exceed the requirements in all columns. Okay, now everybody look at the administrator track. Notice how the administrator track has 2 columns. Okay, so let's keep it simple. Let's go back to the Director 1 row. On the Director 1 row, you have 2 bullets, but you have to meet all of the requirements in that 1 bullet, and look at the second column, membership in an early childhood professional organization. So to get to Director 1, let's say that first bullet, you need a CDA credential, approved early childhood diploma, or early childhood ancillary certificate, and 30 clock hours in approved administrative training categories. Okay, so let's say that you have a CDA and 30 clock hours in admin training and the membership in an early childhood professional organization. That's going to get you to Director 1. You see? Let's make it a little more complicated. Go down to Director 2. So let's say that you have a related bachelor's degree with 3 college courses in early childhood development. So you met one of the bullets in Director 2, right there in that row. You've got the related bachelor's degree. You've got your transcripts where we can count 3 college courses. But notice the row has next to it membership in an early childhood professional organization and service to the profession. So in this case, in order to get to Director 2, you not only need your related bachelor's degree with your 3 courses, you need membership and service. So I hope that makes sense, because now that I read it on my presentation, it definitely needed more explanation. So I will leave my phone number and my email if we still need more explanation on this, okay? So the level is based on the information that is submitted to Pathways. Information must be received. Information must be verifiable, which, it has to be from an accredited college. It has to be an employment verification with a signature from an authorized representative of the center. It has to be legible. Sometimes we get copies, these terrible copies, y'all. You're sending these transcripts and can't make anything out. Like, I can't verify this. I don't know what this is. But we'll just usually call them. Excuse me, can you resend this? But it's important to know that we're going to look at your account every single year, and the level that we give you is based on the information that is submitted. It's inside of your account. So we got to, use what we have. So all this leveling, one, it's for recognition, right? Yay, I made it to Director 3. I get all of my pack, and I've got this, and I've got that, and I made it. But part of the incentive to stabilize the workforce and to keep the early childhood education staff and directors focused on their career is Louisiana has a school readiness tax credit for directors and staff. So members who are leveled on Early Learning Center teacher, either 1, 2, 3, or 4, and of course the master teacher, or the admin with the director 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are tax credit eligible levels. Look back at your career ladders. If it does not have the number 1, 2, 3, or 4 next to it, well then of course master teacher on the teacher track. That's actually a as far as the amount of money received for the SRTC, that's a teacher 4 amount, the master teacher. You'll have a higher recognition because of the master's degree, the graduate level degree, but the money's the same as the teacher 4. But anyway, so you can get a school readiness tax credit form by reaching at least level 1 on these career ladders, okay? So notice that on the admin track, the director level is not tax credit eligible, and on the teacher track, the staff and assistant teacher levels are not tax credit eligible. So we mail out these SRTC forms on January 31st of each year for that previous tax year. Okay, so it's November 2021. In January 2022, a few days before January 31st, we are knee deep in envelopes around here, and we mail out those SRTC forms on January 31st for the 2021 year, okay? And those are mailed out to the members who have achieved and maintained a tax credit eligible level for that tax year, which we just went over. So reminders about this school readiness tax credit. It is ultimately the member's responsibility to make sure their information is submitted, period. You should contact Pathways to update your contact information and ensure that your level is current. By all means, call and email. More so, I know it's November now because of this conference is in November, but for future reference, please call us during the summertime. It gets so much slower during the summertime, especially because Head Start is off during the summertime. Everybody's just more relaxed in general with our mindset, and I get it because y'all move in school years, and I understand that. But a lot of Type 3 child care centers, they work January through December, even on holidays, all throughout the year, and so just set it in your calendar in June. Check in with Pathways. Is my mailing address up to date? What is my level? Do I need to send anything else in? Because in order to maintain your level, your CDA credential, your early childhood ancillary certificate, your professional organization membership, or your service to the profession all must be current. Just because you were level 3 2 years ago doesn't mean that you're going to be level 3 this year. We level everybody every single year based on the information that is in your record every single year. So if you have an expired document, it could mean that we will move you down to a lower level, including a non-tax credit eligible level. So for example, if you're at teacher 1 on the teacher track and you have a CDA that expires December 2021, if we do not have a current CDA to cover those few days in 2021, guess what? It's going to bump you down to assistant teacher, and you won't get a SRTC form to go use with the filing of your taxes, okay? So the deadline to receive the information that we need to give you an SRTC form, okay, the deadline in order for you to receive the SRTC form is December 31st. If you send it by mail, whatever we date stamp it, like the post office, okay, if it comes across in the envelope as December 31st, you'll get credit for it for that year. If it comes in January, you will not get credit for it. So mail's processed on the year that it's postmarked, and then if it's emailed, it's processed on the date that it's received in our inbox. And the information is, if the information is received after December 31st, then the member may request a re-evaluation. That's supposed to be a re-evaluation. But the tax forms probably won't be sent on January 31st. It's just impractical. There's thousands of members, 14,000. I think last year it was over 8. It was close to 9,000 school readiness tax credit forms were mailed out. There's 7 people working that. So please send it in by December 31st. So the requirements, let's say that now you have your school readiness tax credit form. Yay! Now, what is required to actually claim this form? This is on your end. Pathways cannot feasibly monitor if you're working at least 6 months of the year at the same star-rated center. That is up to you. That's why it's on the school readiness tax form, and we'll go over that in a minute. At the top of the form, you put in the center that you worked in, what its star rating is, and then what was the dates, because this is the whole point. The reason you put in those dates, the reason you put in your center, the reason you put in your star rated center is because the Louisiana Department of Revenue has to verify that you worked at least 6 months of the year. And again, this is not a school year, it's a tax year. So a January through December year, 6 months of the year at the same star rated center. That center must have at least and it can have a 0-star rating, which means that it's part of the unified rating system, but it has to be on July 1st of that tax year. And if you know anything about stars and the unified rating system, that's whenever they place the stars. If you have questions about stars, I have an email for a lady who specifically deals with stars, the unified rating system. You can email me or call me and we'll talk about that more. But we're going to also, I'll show you where to get your center star rating from the Louisiana Believes website. Just a second, okay? So requirements to claim it, you have to work at least 6 months of the year at the same center, and the center has to have a star rating on July 1st of that year. Louisiana Pathways does not give out any money. We don't have any money. That's for the Department of Revenue to deal with, so that's why we provide the form for you to file with the Department of Revenue whenever you're filing your income taxes with the state of Louisiana. So a requirement to claim it, you have to file it with your taxes. Okay, with the SRTC form, we always provide instructions. Here's the cover letter. I'm sorry that we're not going to read it and go over all of it. I actually have a completely different presentation for that. We'll post that whenever it's done. Maybe not at this conference. I don't mean to allude to that, but I mean, we'll post it on Facebook and we'll send it out to you about these instructions. This is a big deal because it seems like everybody just seems to throw the instructions away. These are instructions on how to use your school readiness tax credit form, what to do with it, what's required for it. So it's important to read it and know what it says. That's the cover letter. Here's the instructions that really gets more into depth about using the form. Okay. Here's the form. In case you have not seen it before, it's going to look like this. It's got this big black box at the top with Louisiana's Pelican logo. It'll have the year. Every year it changes. 2019, 2020, 2021, it changes. But here at the top is where you put in your child care facility's name, the facility license number, the Department of Revenue account number, which the admin folk, they know that. The 2020 star rating, we're going to go over that just in a second. You can put 0 if it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the date the rating is awarded is put here. Again, all this is accessed through Louisiana Believes in a spreadsheet. I'm going to show y'all in just a second. Put the address, fill all of this out. This is the part where you do the 2020, well, I'm sorry, well, now it's going to be 2021, but you'll put in your employment dates here. So let's just say in 2020, you worked from this date. Let's say that you were there on January 1st. So 1/1/2020 to, and if you worked the whole year, 12/31/2020. Let's say that you left in May at this center. So you're at ABC Child Care Center and you worked January 1st, 2021, but you left May 15th, 2021. And your average number of hours per week, ooh, I didn't put that in there. You have to work at least 30 hours. That's in the instructions. And I just caught that because I was going over this and okay. So right here, here's the deal. Working 6 months of the year at that same star-rated center, the average number of hours that you work per week has to at least be 30 hours a week. If you're only there in the summertime, let's say from May 31st to August 31st, that's May, June, July, August. First of all, that's only 3 months. That's not going to cut it. Let's say that you're there as a floater or a substitute and you come in from January 1st to December 31st. So right here, you're going to have January to December. But if your average number of hours that you work are not 30 hours a week and it's 15 that you're only there, you know, some weeks you're there 10 hours and other weeks you're there 20, that's not going to get you the school readiness tax credit form either. Okay. I feel like I got a little sidetracked there, but that was super important to know. There's a box that it says by checking this box, something authorized representative verifies that the above named employee works here or something. Well, anyway, that's to just verify and validate that this information is correct. This information is correct. This person worked here. Okay. There is a signature here for the authorized representative. The director or the owner of the center signs here. And then the taxpayer signs and dates here at the bottom. It says signature of taxpayer. So let's now get into how to find your center star rating for the tax credits. This is the website. I'll pause for a minute if you want to look at the very specific website, but I'm going to go over it in about, I'll give y'all 10 seconds to look at that if you need to write it down. I won't display. I'm clicking on it. 1 second. It's supposed to play a...
Good question. In the instructions, you can find a specific link that'll take you right to the list, but you can also go to Louisiana Believes website. So just Google Louisiana Believes, and you can find the Department of Education's website, and then use the search bar in the top right-hand corner. You can type the acronym SRTC, then select the top link of the options that come up. Then scroll to the bottom left-hand side of the page This is going to take you to the part of the library which includes all of the school readiness tax credit information. From here, you can find the School Readiness Tax Credit Center Star Level list. They're all listed by year, so select the appropriate year, and then that's going to download a spreadsheet in which you can open. Sometimes you need to maximize the spreadsheet. Once it opens, you'll need to click on Enable Editing so that you can use the Find feature. It has the magnifying glass at the top right-hand side. You can highlight the license number column and enter the license number to go directly to the program's row, or you can simply type the center's name. Oftentimes, though, there are more than one center with the same name, so you'll have to click Find Next and go to the next entry. Once you find your center, you can see the star rating and the dates that the star is good for. If the dates cover July 1st, even if there's just a 0 star, then your program meets the star rating requirement and you can, as staff or director, claim your tax credit according to that criteria.
So cool. That seems pretty straightforward. Yay. Okay. So here's just a few end of year reminders. If your ancillary certificate, CDA, your membership to a professional organization or service to the profession is expired, send this in now, please, and thank you. If you have reached level 1, 2, 3, or 4, and you currently have documentation to secure that level for the 2021 tax year, there's no need to send in workshop certificates. They're not going to move you up and down the ladder, but again, if you're doing it just to keep them in a safe place, okay, we'll keep them in a safe place. But I just don't want people to think that sending in more, because it does seem to be a very strong pattern that, oh, I'll send in my workshop certificates and that'll move me up the ladder. No, it will not. On the classroom track, let me just, again, let's say that workshop certificates do not advance teachers on the classroom track. But if you're working towards the Pathways Administrator Certificate, so look at your administrator track at Director 3 in particular. If you're working on the PAC, we call it the PAC, Pathways Administrator Certificate, okay, then you should send administrative workshop certificates, and please notate this to catch our attention since it is the end of year. I'm just asking you, honestly, as a favor to me and you. We get a lot of paper now, and if you send in a package and you're trying to get the administrator certificate, by accident, just by human error, we could accidentally overlook this, and I don't want to. None of us do here. So just give a little notation. This is for the PAC. You know, that should do the trick right there. Okay, also another end of year reminder. Okay, we emailed invitations to send us a request for your center's director's report in the summer of 2021. We used the notification email that's on file with licensing. So we had this massive list from licensing. We reduced it down just to the type 3 centers that are participating in our center. That in and of itself took days to do. But we did this because we were trying to get directors' attention and say, hey, do you want a director's report? If so, send us a request for a director's report. Okay. So if you have not responded to this invitation to request your director's report, please do so. You can email me. I'm getting to that in a minute. We're wrapping up. Send me, please, I need my director's report, and I'll do that, okay? Put your center's name, the license number, and your contact information. Obviously, if you're emailing me, I'm going to have your contact information, but, you know, just to be clear. Okay, I think that does the trick for now. Does the trick. Well, you know, that's good for now. So thank you for your commitment to early childhood education. I'm not just saying that. I really mean it. And I think that I speak on behalf of everyone here at Pathways. I know that we're here behind desks and we're just answering phones and everything, but we pray for y'all. We do. We love you. We love that you're there with the children. It's very important. We want you to be able to have a school readiness tax credit form and to use it. We really do. We appreciate y'all so much. So here's my direct phone number, 318-677-3142, Trinity Phillips. And then here's my email. Call or email with any questions that you have. Thank y'all for your attention. Y'all have a great rest of the year.